Remember that incompetent fool, Vice Admiral Paetta, who didn't listen to young Wen-Li, anime engineering here? Well, actually, young Wen-Li was the fool, and Paetta was a dang hero. Wait, hear me out. If it was a different time, Paetta's tactical calls would be much easier to understand. Let's go back in time. The American Civil War rages. The Confederate States have gathered 20,000 soldiers with a single objective: to burn Washington, D.C. General Paetta is in charge of the defense. Washington cannot fall. At his disposal is 40,000 brave soldiers. Brilliant young lieutenant seeks an audience. "We must dig in," he says. The lieutenant is notorious for despising the war and seeks only to minimize casualties, enemy casualties included. The general knows fortifying might mean that the Confederate States will walk away, but they will be back with more guys and more guns. So the general takes a page from the book of a brilliant strategist half a century before him, Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon was notoriously aggressive, having only 3 defensive battles in his entire career. So the Union general takes the initiative and goes on the offense. He's not reckless. The units will be split into 3 and carefully managed in a double pincer maneuver. The Confederates will be surrounded unless they attack or retreat. If they are overly aggressive and choose to attack, their flanks will collapse on them, shattering both their heavy equipment and their morale. If they retreat, the young lieutenant has it his way after all. The Union general takes personal command of the stronger flank, leaving a seasoned veteran commander to lead the main bulk of the force. Ooh, spicy. The Confederates jump in both feet first. Their aggressiveness is unrelenting. The flanks move in for the kill, but something goes wrong. Multiple flashbangs, a weapon which in our timeline was not invented for another 120 years, strikes the bulk of the army, leaving them defenseless as they are gunned down. The main bulk is defeated before the wings from the pincer attack arrives. The commander makes a snap decision. The other flank must be close enough to ambush in time. The losses are heavy, but victory is still possible. They must hold their ground until the ambush arrives. The young lieutenant suggests circling around and meeting up with the other group. While this may scare off the attackers, the day would be a crushing defeat. Many would die. If the ambush is successful, the day would be a victory. The fighting is fierce. Paetta's men are wavering. He must do something, anything. He climbs atop his horse, showing his men that he's not afraid. But a fluke rifle shot flies between 2 of his men and hits him. He falls to the ground, and with his dying breath he whispers to his peace-loving lieutenant, "You're in charge. Win the day." The lieutenant proceeds to back away and meet up with the other group, opting for a standard line tactic shootout until the Confederates backs off. The lieutenant immediately threw away all the hard work of the late Union general and lost the battle, all while becoming a hero himself. Let that sink in for a moment. He threw the fight. And now, Admiral Dietrich von Seeckt. Hans is the guy who couldn't give up. He attacked Is alone, while young Wen-Li sat there with the big guns. Why did he do that? Is he stupid? Well, no, let me explain. Imagine you're an admiral in the US Navy. Yeah, that guy's a captain. He looks important, but he's one of your standard goons. Anyway, one of your captains are like, "There's a ship with 40 wounded soldiers. They claim to be on a secret mission with information about an impending attack here at Naval Station Norfolk." You know, good old Naval Station Norfolk. 150,000 soldiers, all armed. Just look at all those dots on your screen. Each of the small black dots is a soldier, with a weapon. Okay, if you're not on a laptop or TV or something, it'll look like a dark mesh. Let me see if I can zoom it so you get the idea. Oh, and the army's on standby, ready to move in with tanks and boots on the ground if everything goes wrong. That adds at least 3 more screenfuls of those dots. Anyway, so these agents of unknown affiliation are followed by a bunch of enemies. So what do? Well, Hans Dietrich von Seeckt is not about to let them burn the naval station on his watch. No sir. He's gonna go out there and get those gits. Since Hans can't send out scouting drones, he opts for just taking a bunch of ships and go find them. If they give him too much trouble, he'll just back off and let Norfolk unleash a hail of cruiser missiles that'll make any rebel fleet cower in fear. Is alone, whatever, you get the point. So Hans heads out and his communication link goes down. Yikes. Those 40 guys probably occupied the communication link, taking it down. Maybe the other fleet is gonna be sneaking in, so he does the logical thing. He sticks close to Iserlohn, Norfolk, whatever, while looking for the ships. A few hours later, the station tells him, "Come home." Since he didn't find any rebel fleet, maybe they engage in combat, so he heads back. And right then, his second in command, let's call him Vice Admiral Fake Eyes, goes all,
"Bruh, it's a trap. The signal was out. Those 40 guys took out the naval base."
like, there's 150,000 guys and an army between those 40 gids and victory. That's this many to 1. Even if they were all Rambo taking out a person every 5 seconds, it would still take them 5 hours. That's not to mention the army, which ups their numbers to maybe 500,000. It's simply not gonna happen. Vice Admiral Fake Eyes is bordering on being a conspiracy nut for believing this. What's next? Iserlohn is flat and chemtrails mind controls us all? So what actually happened? Not only did these 40 guys take out the naval base, the entire US mainland has fallen by their hands in 3 hours. The entire US army is in tatters, because reasons. Hans may not even have had the supplies to run. If it was meant to be a short run, who brings a few weeks worth of rations anyway, for what is equivalent to emptying the mailbox? But the enemy commander seems bent on having him surrender or retreat. The enemy commander fires a cruise missile, barely glancing Hans' navy. He's begging Hans to turn around, to give in without as much as a fight. Why would he do that? Could he be hiding something? Maybe the enemy doesn't want him to reinforce the troops fighting at Iserlohn. Could it be he doesn't know how to aim their missiles? Or that he only has access to a few? Is he trying to intimidate Hans? Bait him into a different trap? While he can only hack into the launch of a missile here and there, and hack a radio transmission. Meanwhile, the US mainland could be perfectly fine. What would you do? Run because that commander said so? And cut your communication links? What seems most likely? Hans decided to call the bluff.
Fire.
Thank you for watching. The next episode will be on the strange writing in the legend of the Galactic heroes, the Neue Thesis. See the upper left hand corner for that. As a bonus, it will include the commander of the fortress Iserlohn, Thomas von Stockhausen, who did nothing wrong except not being a main character. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you really like the video, press the bell button to get a notification every time I upload a video. Thank you.